Good afternoon, I'm Tina Tyshaw.
And I'm Andrew Davis. Thanks so much for joining us. Well, people across the nation still reacting to a second deadly shooting in less than 1 month involving ICE agents in Minnesota.
And questions remain as witness accounts and federal reports paint different pictures of the incident. We want to warn you, some may find this video disturbing. 37-year-old Alex Pretty was shot and killed by ICE agents at a protest on Saturday. According to reports, he was recording agents as they were attempting to help a woman who was pepper sprayed. He was then rushed by agents who brought him to the ground before shots were fired, killing him. DHS officials say that he was armed and reacted violently, which forced agents to shoot in self-defense.
But some of the video taken at the scene appears to contradict what the administration is saying. The shooting has sparked a national conversation, including right here in the Coastal Empire and Low Country, about the Second Amendment and the right to carry a firearm.
And we're told that he did have a weapon, which he had a valid permit for. Some federal officials say despite that, he shouldn't have had the gun with him in the first place, and it posed a threat. Well, WSAV's Jillian Coles spoke with local leaders on both sides of the issue to talk more about this debate.
That is right, Tina. Emotions rang high through the country this weekend. Right here in Savannah, hundreds walked through the streets Saturday, protesting ICE and deadly shootings in Minneapolis. Despite the public outcry, FBI Director Kash Patel held firm in his statement, said, quote, "No one who wants to be peaceful shows up to a protest with a firearm loaded with 2 full magazines." Questions about Pretty's right to possess a firearm are now making national headlines. Georgia has similar open carry laws to Minnesota. President of Georgia's Second Amendment, James Rancorn, told WSAV statements made by the Trump administration suggesting Americans cannot peacefully exercise their right to protest and bear an arm at the same time are deeply concerning. Rancorn said in part, quote, "People in this county peacefully do both every day. Speaking out and lawfully carrying a firearm does not make someone a criminal. Saying otherwise is wrong and unfair to millions of responsible Americans." Chris Melkoski with Savannah Indivisible helped organize Saturday's protest in response to Renee Good being fatally shot by an immigration officer in Minneapolis earlier this month. Melkoski says Savannah Indivisible feels Pretty was completely within his rights to bear arms.
Illegally, there was not an assembly going on there. He was a citizen who saw, frankly, masked people tackling a fellow resident, and he was trying to help them. They pushed him to the ground, disarmed him, and then shot him 10 times. So he was murdered. There's no other way to put it.
Congressman Buddy Carter had a lot to say about the shooting and this Second Amendment issue. We will have more on what he had to say tonight on News 3 at 6. Jillian Coles, WSAV News 3, on your side.
Jillian, thank you. Records obtained by News 3 shows the man killed in the officer-involved shooting in Plant Riverside District had just been released from jail. Wibby had been jailed 4 times since August and was listed as homeless. He was released on a shoplifting charge 1 day before the shooting, with records showing a history of theft, trespassing, and drug-related charges. WSAV has requested the body camera footage of this incident, but we're told it cannot be released as it is the subject of an ongoing investigation. And we now know the identity of the officer involved in that shooting. In Hardeeville, Jasper County coroner has confirmed the suspect as 19-year-old Jaden Holloway Caldwell. We're told an officer and a suspect were shot at a gas station on I-95. That both were later taken to the hospital, and this happened last week. The South Carolina Law Enforcement Division is handling the case.
Neighbors in one Savannah neighborhood calling for change after a serious accident. They say it's not the first crash at that intersection. It's only a matter of time till someone gets seriously hurt. WSV's Nakia Harris is talking with one official who's fighting to fix the problem.
This is the intersection, Washington Avenue and Reynolds Street, where a 4-vehicle crash left 1 car overturned. Now, neighbors tell me this isn't unusual. Close calls and accidents happen here often, and they believe a traffic light could help slow drivers down and prevent serious accidents. Here are 3 out of the 4 vehicles. Right now, there are stop signs at both the street corners and at the median of Washington Avenue and Reynolds Street, a fact that neighbors say seems to be creating confusion about who has the right-of-way. Alderman Nick Palumbo has been advocating for safety improvements at the intersection for years. After another serious accident, he says it's time for more substantial changes to the intersection to better protect drivers and pedestrians alike.
It's time to have Reynolds and Washington get a comprehensive overhaul. So I've requested from our traffic engineers to do a thorough evaluation of the intersection because clearly something's not working, particularly for Reynolds and Washington. You know, this is right next to Savannah Arts Academy and a major school in our network. It deserves to be better protected and better engineered to serve all people.
Reporting here in Savannah, Nakaya Harris, WSAV News 3, on your side.
Our Ladies Island family is without a home right now after their house caught fire Sunday night. Now, according to Ladies Island and St. Helena Fire Departments, the call came in around 7:45 last night on Fiddler's Drive. Firefighters could see flames coming from the roof when they arrived. No injuries reported. The Red Cross has been called in to help the family.
And happening tonight, residents in one area of Beaufort County may finally get some answers about a landfill they say not only stinks, it's got to make them sick. WSAV's Danielle Cobbs followed this from the beginning. She's telling us how the state plans to take the next steps forward.
We told you about this landfill several times before, but since then I've continued to get calls and texts. The state says repairs are almost done, but residents say the issue has only gotten worse. And tonight, residents will get the opportunity to address their growing concerns to state officials and landfill operators. For over a year, they say they've dealt with the hydrogen sulfide smell as well as the adverse health side effects that have come with it. After hundreds of complaints, the Department of Environmental Services mandated the construction waste facility to make repairs to mask the smell. In December, we were told those repairs were 75% complete, but air levels recorded by the state showed the highest levels so far. Residents tell me they're ready for a solid answer as to what can be done going forward.
Putrid is the smell.
The smells stink.
It's the same. I don't think it's going anywhere.
You can't even go outside and enjoy being outside or playing with your grandkids or any kids or cooking out or anything.
The reality is it doesn't matter if it's rain, hot, cold. No one knows what's festering it up.
The Department of Environmental Services is hosting a meeting tonight at 6 with all the residents affected. I'll have more tonight at 11 on how the state plans to address their concerns. Danielle Cobb, WSAV News 3, on your side.
National statistics show the number of students who aren't going to school regularly is actually on the rise. So one local school system wants to make sure it's doing everything it can to get kids to class. Beaufort County schools say it's working to make chronic absenteeism a thing in the past. Right now, close to 22% of students miss school more than 10% of the time. The school system wants to work with parents to find out why that may be happening and how it may be able to help kids get back to class.
Each family's on an individual level to see what can we put in place for you to try to make it easier for you and more attractive for you to get to school every day. And really just, I think with this comes educating families so like, hey, it really does matter. I know your child is able to access a lot of things while they're not in school, and we will continue to do that, but also just kind of taking a positive approach to it, saying, hey, this really is good for your child to be.
Now, the first meetings tonight at Beaufort High School starting at 6:30. There will be more events at each area high school all the way through the end of February. For more information, just go to wsav.com/Beaufort attendance.
Residents in Bryan County and Richmond Hill expressing major concerns over the potential development of a nickel refinery. WSAV's Isabella Baez went to find out where Bryan County officials and those living there stand.
The Oklahoma-based nickel refinery, Westwind Elements, could potentially be coming to Georgia, but it wouldn't be without a fight. Residents are already speaking out opposing the project. The possibility of a nickel refinery coming to the area is leaving many worried. A petition opposing the refinery has already reached more than 2,500 signatures in just a few weeks. Residents have been outspoken on social media and at the Bryan County Commissioners meetings. Some in favor of the refinery, saying the hundreds of jobs are needed, but others are worried about their health and the environment. The nickel carbon used in Westwind's proposed operations is highly toxic. One resident also tells me the area doesn't need another large-scale industrial facility.
There's just lots of room for error and contamination
And my big thing is, I mean, I love our community. I'm a born and raised local. I'm native. I grew up hunting these woods that are now townhomes, factories, plants. But at the same time, you're right there next to the marsh. I mean, they just really have to think long term.
Bryan County officials say at this time there are no pending requests or applications for a potential nickel refinery. But you can hear what they do have to say about the public discussion at News 3 at 6. Reporting in Bryan County, I'm Isabel Baez, WSAV News 3 on your side.
A big weekend ahead. WSAV will officially celebrate 7 decades of broadcast excellence. Saturday night, we invite you to tune in to our 70th anniversary special. The 60-minute spectacular takes a look back at the people who helped make WSAV what it is today, as well as memories that shaped our local landscape over the years. It begins at 7 p.m. this Saturday right here on WSAV.